right, folks, welcome back to the show. This is something about Web3. My name is Dan. I'm here with Kazuaki. What's
Hello.
going on? Oh, gonna be a show today.
Yeah.
I am sleepy boy. I was up late trying to decide whether or not to to buy a goblin related NFT. I couldn't decide. Did you buy any of these, Kazuaki?
No, I couldn't.
Did you hear about the Twitter space?
What's about it?
So you know the Goblin Town dot WTF NFT project that launched.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Twitter space where they just made goblin noises for an hour.
Mm.
Like I'm a
Yeah.
goblin. And there was like almost 1,400 people listening or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the current state of Ethereum.
Well, they raised 3,800 ether. That's a lot.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, well, good for them, you know. Um, I
Uh,
personally like, so I mean, I think there's a lot to say about this project. I've been hearing a lot of rumors that this is actually Yuga Labs' new project.
yeah.
I don't know if people are just saying that because it's successful or if there's an actual reason behind it. If it is Yuga
Mm.
Labs' new project, it doesn't seem racist enough. So I don't understand that part. Um, but whatever. I don't think I don't really like the art, and I'm an NFT person who likes the art. So I'm one of those people. Um, so I don't know. I couldn't get into it. But I saw a Twitter thread that was just like defending the art for like 20 tweets in a row, talking about how the art is good, how the art is not actually
Mm.
bad, it's actually good. I'm like, if you need 20 tweets to explain how the art is good, it's probably not that
But
good.
yeah, because yeah, let the visual explain everything, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. If the art is good, I mean, it'll just resonate with people. You don't need to
Yeah,
explain it.
yeah.
And so I saw there was another project, and I don't even think it's related to the Goblin Town project. That's called Goblinis. Have you seen that one?
Goblins? I don't know.
It's done by this artist, Jabba Forms, I think his name is,
Hmm.
and they're hand drawn. It's just kind of like, I don't know, more abstract, like more kind of looks like graffiti in a way. Check it out. It's called Goblinis. It's like Goblin Eye. Um, I actually like the way these look. Are you checking them out? I can send you a
Yo.
link. Okay. I actually like the way these look. These actually look fun
Hmm.
to me. So maybe I'll get in on this. Also, the floor is a lot lower. I don't feel like spending multiple ETH on an NFT since I bought
Uh,
the absolute pico top of Miladys before it crashed last week. So I discussed on the podcast. So I'm looking for something a little bit more chill. But
no.
so maybe I'll get into that.
Hmm.
I also saw a cool project called Sakura Park, um, which is kind of like PS1, like PlayStation 1 kind of themed art,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool. Um, and so I minted that. Um, and then I threw the NFT on NFTX because I hadn't really tried that much yet. It's quite cool. It sets up Uniswap pools for fractional NFTs. I probably talked about it last week, but anyway,
Yeah.
I got to try it, and so now I'm yield farming my Sakura Park NFT.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. And they have everything on there. You know, they have like CryptoPunks and Milady and Doodles and Squiggles and Other Deed and
Right.
Goblin Town and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Goblin is #1 trending on the NFTX.
The goblins are?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I see other side is now below 3 ETH.
Oh.
Still quite expensive, but
Yeah.
oh, and now we have Pixel Goblin Town. Ay. Which is number 2, and then you have Milady
Oh.
and some chimp one, and then Goblinis. Um. So yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. You know what? It's like the bear market, and for some reason I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna waste all my time looking at NFTs. That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, did you see someone wrote a smart contract to MEV unclaimed other side deeds?
No.
Yeah. Um, Basically, it would look on OpenSea and NFTX and other places for bored apes or mutant apes that had unclaimed, they hadn't claimed their other side airdrop,
Yeah.
and the contract would buy the ape or whatever, claim the other side airdrop, and then immediately sell both of them.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and it's all in Solidity, um,
Oh.
and it would calculate whether or not this would be profitable based on what the NFTs were going for and gas and all that. So
Oh, that's great.
it's quite cool. And the developer of it open sourced it, and he open sourced it before they were all claimed. Like he wrote the contract, he did
Wow.
it, I assume, a few times, and then open sourced it, and there was like multiple ones left to claim. So how nice of him, right?
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really cool. Um, so there's a lot of people now getting more interested in NFT MEV, because
Oh, yeah.
NFTs are getting like so
Definitely.
complicated in terms of their
Yeah.
logic. There's so much you could do with it, especially when you bring in NFTX and Uniswap. Um, just assuming like every big NFT collection has this Uniswap pool now is
That's right.
huge, huge. So,
Right.
and now people are sandwiching like CryptoPunks and Bored Apes on NFTX.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you're about to buy a Bored Ape. Let me buy 100 of them right before you buy yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sell. Uh, and give 90% of the profit to Ethermine or whoever.
Mm.
um, I've been hanging out in some searcher discords and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
chill.
Mm.
Good community, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of anons, a lot of femboys. Um, so it's great. um. Well, anyway, Kazuaki, do you want to talk about some of the stuff you were checking out this week? I see here you're talking about Tally Labs, Questbook. I looked at these, but now I can't remember what I read about them.
Oh, yeah. The Questbook. Okay, let's go with the Questbook. No, Tally Lab. So it's media,
Mhm.
and then the main character is from Board a Yacht Club,
Wow.
and then it's they try to create the media or kind of like an NFT community called Jenkins the Ballad,
Hmm.
and through that community they want to publish the what is it, book called Bored and Dangerous, and then
Hmm.
they welcome the New York Times bestseller artist or a scripter.
Is that like a
Yeah.
comic book?
No, I think it's just what is it called?
Like a
Not
white novel?
yeah, white novel. Not white novel, but uh yeah, I think it's just a regular novel, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah, and then
interesting.
yeah,
That's
and
really
then
interesting to like Bored Apes is like so far future, and then just like write a novel, like a
yeah,
paperback about it.
yeah. I mean, like we were expecting like other side type of like metaverse stuff, but
Yeah.
like the stuff coming out from them is like just a novel. But the interesting thing is like the novel is came out from the community voting, like which direction are they going to, or like oh
Oh,
they want a different ending, like okay, well, we gotta create the other one.
wow.
So yeah, I think this is a kind of like a very interesting approach to community creations. I mean,
Yeah.
community-based creations, and then the in order to suggest like the new type of creation, you have to have some kind of NFTs.
Mm.
So here the NFT work as a membership, which is kind
Oh,
of
I see.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that is cool.
yeah.
Interesting.
And also similar to this project, have you heard the project called Blitmap?
No.
It's the project from Dom who created Loot. Remember Loot from last year?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Loot NFT. Yeah, his main project is called Blitmap, and then it's also this is kind of like producing a comic book using the same kind of structures. And
Oh,
then
okay.
they are about to launch the new NFT collections, like NFT manga from the
Oh,
Blitmap.
okay, cool.
And then they are releasing, the pre-releasing only English and Japanese. So that's why like Japanese NFT maximalists are kind of excited about that.
Nice. I saw there
Yeah,
was speaking of loot, I saw there was some sort of new loot project as well.
really?
Yeah.
Is that like same kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was like I feel like I can be totally wrong, but it was like loot. Maybe there was like an airdrop or some derivative for loot holders where they could like I think it was like magic spells or something.
Hmm.
So kind of like the magic side of loot.
Yeah.
Um anyway, I just saw that on NFTX the other day. There was a pool for it. So
Oh,
I was like, "Oh,
okay.
what is this?"
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of loot, what happened to them? I mean, like,
I don't know. I guess people are
why we
are
were
building
so
on
crazy
top of
about
it.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's old, right? Like not that much
Yeah.
has happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much potential here, but like to the outside world, I think it just seems so shady. So
Yeah.
maybe something like what Tally is doing is like actually more important than it seems. Because I think to me and probably to a lot of other people in crypto, it just sounds kind of stupid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like writing a book or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe for people outside of crypto, this all-star team that they've assembled um, to manage this
Yeah.
project, and then this idea of having kind of almost like a DAO manage the
Mm-hmm.
storytelling will be interesting
Yeah.
to people outside, and they'll say, "Oh, this is what NFTs are for."
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's actually good. That being
Yeah.
said, I don't know if you saw Seth Green is launching a TV show starring his board ape.
Hmm.
The trailer came out, and there's like all these like famous comedians and stuff in the trailer,
I saw
and I
the video. Yeah.
and I thought to myself, this is even more cringe than Crypto Land. Because like
Yeah.
remember the Crypto Land video where like the giant coin was going around this island,
Yeah.
saying all these like crypto memes
Yeah.
and stuff.
Hmm.
At least it was like funny. It was so stupid that it was funny, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone watched that trailer. Everyone thought it was hilarious. I mean, everyone hated it, and
Hmm.
everyone who watched it like hated crypto and all this stuff. And even people who like crypto watched that trailer, and it was
Yeah.
funny because it was so bad.
Yeah.
But this Bored Ape one is it's not bad enough to be funny. It's just bad.
That's true.
So like and there's like in the
Yeah.
bar there's like a crypto punk hanging out at the bar, and there's like a World of Women NFT hanging out at the bar, and I'm
Right.
just like, oh, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, this is Hollywood's, you know, this is what Hollywood thinks
Hmm.
of NFTs, I guess. So
Yeah.
it seemed like with this
Yeah.
Tally Labs thing, there's actually like some really serious people behind it. I see like Will Smith is involved somehow, and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like there's a trend, like try to create alternative endings. Like if you look at the Netflix,
oh yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
So like I feel like they try to target those kind of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know this group raised $12 million, which probably isn't that much actually.
Hmm.
But I've been hearing all over the place that everyone needs to get ready for this bear market. You know, Y Combinator put out some sort of email to their companies like that was all doom and gloom, like raise money now because there's not going to be any money in a couple of months or whatever because of the bear market, and like, you know, there's not going to be any funding for new projects. But then you see something like this gets $12 million.
Yeah.
Um, there was like multiple announcements this week about new crypto funds for billions of dollars. So
Yeah.
I'm like, just because Netflix had to lay off like 100 people doesn't mean that people aren't still bullish on crypto. Like, what is everyone so worried about?
Right.
I don't really. I mean, it seems like high net wealth people and family offices and wherever these crypto funds get their money, that those people don't seem worried,
Right.
right? I don't know.
Hmm.
What's the big deal? Just a little bear market.
Yeah.
We've been through this before. It's
I
not a big deal.
know.
These things happen. You know, you had Luna and all that, so
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I'm not concerned.
Me neither. I'm extremely bullish on crypto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. If you listen to this podcast, all you're going to get is good vibes when it comes to crypto. So,
Yep. Yeah, yeah. We only care about the futures.
that's right. Oh, I like that. That should be our
Oh,
slogan.
podcasting.
We only
Podcasting.
care about the future.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good attitude to have.
Yep.
Speaking of which, you know, I almost don't want to mention this, but I started reading the Three Body Problem.
Hmm.
Have you read that book?
Hmm. What is that?
Oh, you should start reading it, and then we can talk about it on the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about the
Okay.
future.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then this podcast will turn into a sci-fi book club.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. That's kind of interesting though. That's really interesting.
What is?
Oh, like sci-fi book podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Actually, I like never read sci-fi. Um,
Yeah.
but I started reading this for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
why?
Me too. Me too.
Because this book is where the term dark forest comes from.
Oh
And so
yeah.
that's
Oh
why I want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like every action we take is like driven by like crypto related events.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um What about this Questbook project?
Right. Because I wanted to ask you because Questbook is kind of like supporting open source,
Hmm.
and it's like they providing a grants program,
Yeah.
and just want to ask you like what do you think about this in general?
Well, here's what I thought when I saw it. I thought, who the hell is this project? I never heard of this project.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
No,
Yeah.
I never heard of this
I mean,
project.
I mean, like, you know, the TechCrunch article is like pretty huge, but it, I don't know who they are. And then
Yeah,
it seems like Gitcoin is doing much better than them. But
absolutely, absolutely.
and
Um,
it's like raising 8 million is not that big deal. And then why TechCrunch create an article like this?
yeah. Well, before Gitcoin, which full disclosure, I used to do work for them. So, um, before they did their governance token, I think they never raised anywhere close to $8 million. I think the budget was a lot lower than that.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, I did a lot over at Gitcoin, and then I saw this project, and I'm like, I never heard of this. It sounds exactly like Gitcoin. Checked it out. It looks like they're just like testing on mainnet. Like there's like
yeah. All the grants they posted is like testing the grants or like
yeah,
testing
yeah,
mainnet, and then give you like 10 die.
yeah. So like,
So
it doesn't seem like funding has dried up.
right. What about
uh,
the other one? OS Coin. Do you remember them?
I do remember them. Yeah. Well, they
What
actually
happened to
wrote
them?
like white papers and stuff,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
On like they did like some studies on like how best to distribute stuff to open source people based on GitHub and things like that.
yeah,
Um, so I think they were a little bit more serious when it came to, I don't know, like sociological research.
yeah.
Um, but I haven't checked them out in a while. Are they still around?
I'm not sure. I gotta
Yeah.
check that out. I like the idea of like they were saying their slogan was like kind of like they want to create kind of like a page rank that Google
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
They want to create that same kind of architecture for open source, which is awesome. And then I'm pretty
yeah,
much agree on that.
yeah. I got a decent airdrop from Element Finance because of my GitHub activity.
Hmm.
And I think they used a bit simpler model to calculate that, but
Right.
I think the idea is very good. So I'm all for it. People paying open source devs,
Yeah.
100%. Um, more people just need to try it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
I mean, crypto is the perfect place for it. So
Hmm.
it's always been the like criticism of open source projects. It's not like criticism necessarily, but like Amazon or Microsoft or whoever, Google are built a lot of what they do is built on these open source technologies, and they're not paying any money
Right.
to use it.
Right.
Um, but at least they could like fund it open source, and I'm sure they do to an extent,
Hmm.
a little bit here and there, but it's mostly I think some form of kind of greenwashing that they do. Um, I always thought more people should lean on them to do more, but it's just like purely altruistic, It's like purely to get them to do any more than they're already doing, they would have to just be throwing their money away, right? Which big corporations don't necessarily like to do. I
Yeah.
mean, I think in the long term, it's in their interest to actually do it, but it's hard to justify in the short term. But with something like crypto, with like a financial layer being so core to cryptocurrency as a whole, it just makes a lot more sense for open source crypto projects to get funding, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think. Anyway, speaking of good things, or maybe not so good things, I mentioned earlier that I bought the Pico top of Miladys. Of course, I think 4 days after the podcast last week, this CoinDesk article comes out basically saying that the person who created Miladys is actually a bad person who convinced women to become anorexic and was like some sort of online cyber bully back in a couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
Miladys got canceled and the floor price dropped to almost, I think, 0.2 ETH. Now it's back up a little bit. But of course, our friend Ryder Rips was involved in canceling Miladys. Many other
Yeah.
people were disgusted by the allegations. But it's quite interesting to see it from the inside because I'm on the Discord and in the verified Discord and everything since I bought one. First of all, I would say the people in the community just like did not care at all, and in fact, we're telling people to sell their own to sell their crypto, to sell their NFTs rather. And that people were cheering for the floor price to go to zero or whatever. So I never really saw something like that happen before with the community.
Yeah.
And so I think in a way, I'll say this, like I've checked out so many different NFT communities and different projects and Discords and everything. And 99% of the Discords are all wag me,
Yeah.
GM, good morning, whatever, pump the bags, price go
Yeah.
up, let's make some memes, post on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. Which is not necessarily has anything to do with the art world in terms of what, NFT art.
Yeah.
But with the Miladys community, I think it's quite clear that they don't care about the price at all.
Interesting.
Which is, yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. I think I was watching some video about it last night. This dude, Justin Murphy, who's like a big Urbit guy, he actually sent me a planet for free, an Urbit planet, which I got set up. I don't know him personally, but I just got he sent me one. Had some live stream going where he's talking about Miladys with some other folks in the Milady community, and they said like when you have a Milady as your profile picture on Twitter, which I do, and I experience this, it turns you schizophrenic. It turns you into a crazy person. Because whenever you see that the anime eye profile picture of a Milady, you expect them to say something crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like they're constantly just saying, and I started saying crazy stuff on Twitter, and I like barely ever tweet. And then once I got the Milady avatar, I started saying crazy stuff. It's like a demon.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And so this is the first NFT project where I got involved in the community and I actually felt something,
Yeah. Yeah.
other than, oh, I'm gonna make money off this or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know how they did it, or why Miladys is like this. people are saying that it was funded by Peter Thiel. What isn't funded by Peter Thiel? First of all, everything's funded by Peter Thiel. But
yeah. But no,
I don't
your
know.
my lady NFT art is pretty good. I like it.
Oh, you like mine?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you want, you can right-click save it and use it yourself.
Yeah.
That's another thing about Miladys is that they're like, if someone ever asks, "Oh, I wish I could get one, but I can't afford it," or whatever,
Yeah.
a lot of times people would just send them one.
Mm.
But also people just tell them, "Oh, you could just like right-click save one that you like and use it." Like it's encouraged, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, and like the one I have is a Milady Aura, which is like a derivative project that came out last week or so,
Mm.
that I minted, and you know, like people like that if there's derivatives, and I don't know, it's just a very open community when it comes to experimentation and like,
Mm.
but nobody cares about the money, like, and anyone
Right.
that did care about the money, like people in the community are just cheering for them to sell theirs, because that's not nobody, none of the ladies care if they make money
Right.
from it. And especially if people have a lot of them, people don't like that. People want them to
Yeah.
sell. So I don't know. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I've never seen a crypto community like this.
Mm. Very interesting.
That's so I don't know, like straight up crazy. It's just crazy. Mentally unwell. So I'm still glad I bought it, even though I bought the Pico top. I'm still happy. Actually, I bought
Yeah.
another one. I'll be honest. I bought another one. So um anyway, on to more serious topics, I suppose. Um what do you think? We don't have to talk about this for very long, but what do you think of Luna 2 or Luna
uh,
Class, whatever, I don't know, whatever they're
I don't
calling it?
know. I don't know. I haven't really following the two article or like their releases.
So they're doing a airdrop of the new Luna chain.
Yeah.
They're doing away with UST, right?
Yeah.
And depending on the airdrop is going to be to Luna holders and UST holders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some like early and late snapshot, or there's some like before and current, like before everything went to crap with Luna, and then like whatever you're holding at some future or
Yeah.
current
Yeah.
snapshot. And so people are buying Luna now because they're anticipating this airdrop.
Mm.
So I couldn't tell you like what these people are thinking, like, because to me that seems so crazy. But I will say this: this to me means that this is not the bottom of the market at all. If people are still buying Luna,
Yeah. Yeah.
we are going to be going down, down, down in the
Mm-hmm.
near future,
Mm-hmm.
because people, it's only going to be when everyone thinks crypto is over and there's no hope left. That's the bottom.
Yeah.
And people are buying Luna, and that tells me there's a lot of hope left. So,
Wow.
by the
I'm
way, I see Ethereum
surprised.
is down a huge amount today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, like, I can't believe like there are still a certain amount of people buying Luna.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing anyone saying they were buying BitConnect after BitConnect crashed.
Right. Right.
But I guess BitConnect wasn't going to do an airdrop of BitConnect too. Maybe they should have.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, that's why like Luna partially succeed during the Ponzi scheme before everything happened,
Yeah,
and then they're still trying to win round two
they're not
because
giving up.
they're not giving up.
They're lunatics. Too many of them got Luna tattoos, I think.
Oh yeah.
So That is so embarrassing. Um, anyway, yeah. So I don't know what's going on with the markets today. Bitcoin is down like 2%.
Mm-hmm.
It's chopping along. Everything else is going down, down, down. Usually, I think when Bitcoin kind of goes sideways like this,
Yeah.
altcoins do well. So I'm not sure what's happening. Uh, it, I thought the merge was priced in. That's been the meme for a couple of weeks now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Merge priced in. But did you see that the ETH2 chain had a 7 block reorg in the last couple of
Yep.
days?
Yeah. I saw that on the Twitter.
That's huge.
That's huge. Really.
I mean, it's like 2.5 minutes, right? Or something like that.
No. 2.5 hours. Oh
No,
no. Seven block. 7 block, right?
7 blocks. So it's like two and a half
Yeah.
minutes,
So two and a half
right?
minutes. Yeah. Yep.
Something like that. Two
Yep.
minutes, maybe even less. One and a
That's
half
a
minutes.
lot. That's
But
a
it's still a lot
lot.
because I mean, I've never seen a reorg on the ETH1 chain.
Yeah.
MetaMask show you if there's a reorg. Is there a little pop-up that says, "Hey, that transaction that I told you about 30 seconds ago that was complete? Yeah, it's not complete. You're gonna have to redo it." Is there a little pop-up in MetaMask that says that?
Really?
I don't. Probably not. But what does the average MetaMask user do if there's a reorg?
Right. Oh, I want to check it out.
What does it say on EtherScan next to your now uncle's transaction? I guess.
Right.
Um, I mean that's pretty wild. Is
Ah.
and then okay, I'm not the most technical person. I don't know
Mhm.
the most about ETH 2.0. There's a lot of people who
Yeah.
know a lot more than me. But I did try to look into the technical side of what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of led me down a rabbit hole of all of this custom logic that's in the, I guess, ETH2 validator staking node, whatever code, to try to prevent this type of thing from happening. And it seems like, wow, there's a lot of custom logic here for a lot of different edge cases and problems that could happen with proof of stake.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it seems a little overly complicated, and I've talked about before in this podcast how I think proof of work is very good. It's so simple.
Yep.
I'm scared. I'm honestly
Yeah.
scared. Like I'm normally very bullish on Ethereum, and I'm not feeling great about the merge. So is the last, because I feel like ETH was holding around 2,000 for a while, 2,000 US dollars,
Mm-hmm.
now down under 1,800. Is the merge still being priced in, and is that driving the price lower? That's kind
Yeah.
of my thesis at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold,
I
I need a
found
hold.
the article. The people from Paradigm and Vitalik wrote a blog about reorg, and then after the merge, reorg validating will become much less of a problem. That's what Vitalik said, and then it just proved that he might be wrong about this. I mean, seven block reorg is pretty huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and from, I mean, this wasn't we're not at the point where people are attempting reorgs either, because
Right.
that
Right.
that is a long theorized problem
Mm-hmm.
that I think with proof of work it's just too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It was proposed as part of Flashbots
Yeah.
at one point, I
Mm-hmm.
believe, which is why some people left Flashbots. You can listen to the ZK uh, podcast. What is it called?
Podcast. Zero Knowledge FM.
Yeah, zero.
Zero
Listen to the
Knowledge
zero
podcast.
episode about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at one point, Flashbots, you were going to be able to propose a reorg as part of an MEV strategy and encourage miners to start mining on an old version of the chain, which is great. But I mean, whatever. It's MEV. It's. I mean, it would totally destroy Ethereum, but but you know, you could right now you could attempt a reorg on Ethereum, but it's so expensive to do it.
Yeah,
so expensive. Not and in no small part due to MEV. Actually, MEV discourages reorgs because people are already pricing in the MEV they get from the blocks, include in addition to the block reward. So we're not stress testing ETH2 in that sense, in terms of people financially incentivized to attempt reorgs.
Yeah.
So if it's this easy to do kind of accidentally because of some timing issues that happened with when the blocks were solved and proposed and a node being laggy and just some small coincidences piling up, what's going to happen when the nodes actually start colluding to try to reorg the chain? It's going to be very scary for a lot of users who thought that they had sniped the NFT and now it's not in their wallet anymore. I'm going to say, where's my goblin? I bought a goblin and it's not big. I don't like crypto anymore.
It's scary.
Yeah, scary, right? Scary. I saw Binance, by the way, is proposing for Binance Smart Chain some anti-MEV protection in the form of enforcing transaction ordering by hash of transactions. So that the order in a block of transactions on Binance Smart Chain will be alphabetical order based on hash.
Whoa.
It's kind of smart, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple. But then people said, well, I'm just gonna generate hashes of my transaction by changing a salt or whatever until I get a hash that starts with 0 or whatever and submit that. You know what? In a way, that's fine.
This is very possible, though.
What's that?
That's possible, though.
It's 100% possible. In a way, because it puts more stress on the searchers to try to get things done within one block, right? And so if all of a sudden now you're running proof of work as a searcher to try to hash out something that starts with 0 before you submit it, and the block time is a couple seconds, it's going to damage MEV a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. And I just like the elegance of that solution. But obviously, if you pay more gas, yours goes in earlier in the block as well. Yeah. It's just comparisons of people who pay the same amount of gas is going to be determined by the transaction hash. This is just something they're proposing, though. I don't think it's actually happening yet. Binance Smart Chain is notorious for having insane amount of spam MEV transactions on chain. So this is one of the reasons they're doing that. Anyway, what else do you want to talk about? I know we started a little bit late today, so
I saw
go ahead.
I saw the A16Z, the fundraising on Twitter, and then everybody posting the link and then talk about why they could raise so much more money during this bear market.
Yeah. They go into these meetings with these groups that have billions of dollars. This is the A16Z people. And they walk in the meeting, they just slap down a picture of the Bored Ape. They say, look at this. See this? We invested in that company. And now there's going to be a TV show about it. And then these briefcases just pop open on the table and money just flies out everywhere.
Yeah.
That's how those meetings go. I mean, their track record is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Horowitz.
No.
Every feel like every big crypto project they're involved in somehow. So I can't imagine what the
Right.
returns look like on crypto funds 1 through 3 or whatever. I don't know. Are
Hmm.
they on their fourth or whatever? Whatever their previous crypto funds are, the returns have to be like 1,000x or something insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so just another indication that we're not at the bottom of the market, I guess. Those guys aren't scared. They're not scared at all.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
it's not their money. Let's keep in mind that it's not their money, right? It's it's
Right.
it's
Your
all
client's
these
money.
individuals and funds
Yeah.
and whatever looking to find some positive returns in this
Hmm.
total economy. So yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Hey, A16Z, you could buy
Hmm.
this podcast for like $1 million. I'd sell it for
Yeah.
just hit us just hit us up. I'll shill whatever projects you want for $1 million. No
Yeah.
problem. I'll do it for $100. I don't care. I'll do it for an NFT of a goblin. So just hit us up. um. Anyway, and there's this the Paradigm Fellowship.
Yep.
That was quite interesting.
Yeah, quite interesting. Paradigm, the VC, um, they started the new program called Paradigm Fellowship. They are
Yeah,
going to support the young um, developer. You have to be younger than 23 years old to apply this fellowship program,
yeah,
and you have to have desire to shape crypto's future.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were making fun of it because it had like some mention of if you're younger than 23. But you know what? Actually, it reminds me of that show Silicon Valley. You remember that HBO show?
Oh yeah.
There was a character in it who's kind of like based on a combination of Paul Graham and Peter Thiel, named
Hmm.
Peter Gregory.
Yeah.
One of his big things in the show, in like the first episode, is that he hates college, and he
Oh yeah.
thinks that if you're smart at all, you should not go to college.
Hmm.
Um, and so to trick him into looking at their slide deck, the main characters go up to him and they say, "Hey, can we tell you about our project?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't have time." And they say, "Oh, that's okay. I guess we'll just go to college instead." And he goes, "Hold on, don't go to college. Let me see the slide
I remember that. Yeah,
deck."
that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that show is so good.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so maybe this is kind of a similar thing where they're like, "Oh, these kids are going to go to college instead and like end up working for BlackRock or something,"
Yeah.
and we don't want that. So we'll dangle this carrot in front of them instead and say,
Yeah.
come work at Paradigm," which is cool. I mean, a lot of cool people seem to work at Paradigm. So a lot of a
Hmm.
lot of really technical people, really smart people. So
Yep.
I, I got no hate for them. Um, I don't really know that much about what they do, but it seems like a lot of smart people work there.
Hmm.
So that's good. That's good. I mean, we're old guys, so good. But and it's also true that I think among younger people, the crypto has kind of a bad reputation now.
Mm,
I think especially because of NFTs
right.
and people talking about the environmental impact, and Zoomers don't like that.
Hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, well, I think that's it for this week. Is there anything else you wanted to mention real quick? Or I'm sure a lot of terrible things. It's crazy. Every time we do this podcast, it seems like such a long amount of time happens in between each
Yeah.
episode. It's only a
Yeah.
week, and like so much crazy stuff happens that we talk
It's
about
so.
every week. Uh,
Yeah.
like week we're gonna start the podcast and be like, well, Tether collapsed this week, and Tether's trading at 10 cents, and they're gonna do Tether 2 airdrop and blah blah blah. Um, Anyway, yeah. Is there anything else you
Yeah.
wanted to mention, or I guess we'll just save it for next week?
Yeah. we'll just save it for next week then.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for listening to Something About Web3. Tune in next week. And what was our slogan? I forgot our slogan.
We only care about the futures.
We only care about the future. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.